Hey, what's up? It's Chris Young. What do you say we take a few minutes, talk about the features, and meet your brand new Forest River Salem Cruise Lite 273QBXL. Let's go. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Young. Congratulations on getting that 273QBXL. Now let's take a look at some of the features on the outside. Right up front, which is where we're going to start, you got your powered tongue jack right here. Three main options to point out on this. You got the manual override location right here, which has a rubber stopper on it. You got your LED light, which is a great little additional safety security feature, which is a rocker switch. And then you got your hitch controls, which up for raising it, down for lowering it. Right behind, where you have the manual override, you got a little tool through the pass-through storage. If you don't have power, you're not hooked up to shore, your batteries are dead, and you need to raise or lower, there's a little head to put this on. Just sit it down in there, and then you can crank the hitch whichever way you need to go. Now, right behind that is our 20-pound LP tanks with the cover, and you'll notice right here that these unlock latches are facing this way. I would actually suggest that you turn it around and have them face the coach, because that's a flap right there that wind can get under and pop it open. You really don't want to lose that. Now, your two LP tanks that you have here are 20 pounds. Make sure the cord is connected and secure. You do have a quick access port right here if you need it, but you want gas from the right side, open up the right tank. You want gas from the left side, open up the left tank. Just turn them to operate. Now you'll notice too, you got a battery disconnect located on the frame. The key is also removable, so a nice little additional safety feature for you right there. And let's put this cover back on. Or as I like to say, we're going to introduce a theory called doing it the right way, which is so rare for me. Sorry, Bobby. Okay, come around over here to the campsite, and you'll notice your finish off pass-through storage with the dry erase service. Very nice little feature there. But there are some tools located inside the pass-through storage that you'll need. They most of the time are going to be hanging up here with these Velcro straps. You got your manual override for the jack, you got your JT strong arm control, and you got your drive for the stabilizer jacks. Put this on, use your drill to get it going back and forth. And then this right here is for the JT strong arm, which you'll notice is right there. We'll show you the handle on the rear because it's much more visible than what we have on the front. You do have sealed safety windows all over this coach that are tinted. Just sealed safety windows all the way around this coach. Now your awning is the Solera by Lippert 12-volt awning. So it does have adjustable pitch. Just watch out for it. A couple things. Number one, when you pull the awning down to adjust it, make sure that you're under the awning, because if you do pull it down, there's moisture on top of there. Bam, you're gonna get yourself an impromptu bath. And before you roll it in, push it back up level so that the awning isn't cockeyed. You don't have any issues rolling it back in. If you do need to manually override the awning because you don't have power, there's a rubber stopper on the end right there with a 7/16 bit that you can easily access it. Now, let's see if we can get these solid steps in the coach. Open the door all the way. You got the step over steps. Just be careful in lifting them because they are a little heavy. Get the gravel off of there. So maybe that much just gonna have to stay. Okay, lift this up and you'll notice there's a blue latch over here. You pull that and release it. That's gonna secure the steps inside the coach. To bring them down, same thing. Just pull it out and you'll notice that the legs have this adjustable switch right here. Move it up and down depending on what length you want it. And when you set them down, make sure not only they're flush on the ground, but flush up top too, because if this secure plate isn't flush, then the door is not going to shut. And those steps also have a 500-pound capacity on them. Now you got the Suburban hot water heater on your 273QBXL. And a few things to note about this one. This pressure release valve right here is to allow some open air on top of the tank inside the heater. So if it's full, and you need to relieve some pressure, make sure to get a coffee cup, number one, or something to hold the water in. But number two, make sure it's cold, it's cooled down. You don't want to spray hot water all over yourself because that could be a bad thing. Manual reset is located right here. Plus you got your anode rod right there, flash tube, igniter, and vent or flash cover right there. Propane has mercaptan in it. That's a chemical that bugs love, especially spiders, dirt daubers, bees, anything that likes to build nests or blockages inside that flash tube. So if your coach has been sitting for a little while, get you a pipe cleaner, run it through that flash tube to clean it out. You can also tell by this flash guard right here that if there's dirt and debris coming up the side of the coach here, chances are that something's in there that's gunking it up, so you can just clean it out. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, or there's something in there that you can't really, hey Chris, this looks something bigger than just a dirt dauber nest, then bring it in, let our folks at Camp World take a look at it for you. Freshwater fill right here. You'll notice we got the pressure release vent right there. That's to let you know that if you've gone overfilling, you might want to stop with the water hose. You also have a fresh tank dump down here. So if it is a little too full, or you just need to dump the fresh tank, you pull it right there. You also have the accessibility under here. That is a paneled system that allows you to access whatever you need to access without taking the whole underbelly off. Double axle on these, nitro-filled tires on the steel rims with the Dexter Easy Lube axles. Now, talk to your specialist or your technician about when you need to get these things checked out, because rule of thumb is about every year you want to get those bearings repacked. Now, if you've been traveling a lot and you come out here and the wheel housing is super hot to the touch, either call Good Sam, call Camping World, get that camper in as quick as possible. You can, with these Dexter Easy Lubes, give it a couple of squirts of grease, but that's to get you to the service center. Don't try to do that on your own unless you're a professional and can get it done. I always say, even then, bring it in, let our folks do it. Now you got a 25,000 BTU Suburban furnace on this unit. Right here is the vent for that. Just be careful if you have this fabric chair set up here on the campsite, not to block this vent, especially if you have the heater going, because that could cause you some issues as well. 110 cable hookup right there. Outside kitchen with prep space, Suburban cooktop, and mini fridge with the little mini freezer door. This is your LP quick connect for your Suburban griddle. This is the connection and the sprayer for your spray port. And you'll notice spray port is right here. Just hook that up. Make sure you hook it up before you cut the water on. And your LP quick connect is down here with the slip sleeve and the tab for cutting it off and on. If you hook it up and you don't get your griddle to fire, or your camp grill, whatever you want to bring with you to fire up, make sure, number one, you got propane and the propane line is open, and you've given it some time to get the propane all the way over here to the line. You can't just open it up and expect it to cut on. It's got to take a while to propagate. If that's still not working, bring it in, let our folks at Camping World take a look at it for you. Sewer hose storage, spare tire, backup camera, all great features. Cable connection on the back, which is where you plug in to get your cable for this coach. City water connection right here, and black tank connection right here. Two very important ports with two very different objectives, with two water hoses that you should use. Potable water hose for the city water connection, regular hose for the black tank flush. And before you do anything with that black tank flush, make sure the black tank is open before you put any water pressure in there. Right here, like I had mentioned on the front, on the rear, you'd be able to see the JT Strong Arm a little bit better. This right here is the control where you could turn to adjust the JT Strong Arm with that tool that we have in the pass-through storage. Main terminations right here, denoted by the gray and the black. We tell people when you're set up at the campsite, you don't have to keep these open all the time. As a matter of fact, we recommend that you don't, especially the black tank, because the solid waste can cause pyramiding in there. And what that can do is, if that sits for a while without any fluid in there, especially to move it around and break it up, you could have some issues in dumping. And if you are going to dump them, make sure you do the black tank first and then the gray tank. 30 amp plug is right here. If you're lucky enough to have a cord that gives you a power indicator like this blue LED light, that's great. Just make sure when you plug it in and turn it that you screw in the connection to give you the most secure connection. If you're not getting power here, just check the post, make sure the circuit breaker's flipped. You do have the Schwintek worm groove slide right here with that aluminum worm groove connection here, and the bulb seals. I like to tell people, get some of that bulb seal lubricant, keep that on hand so you can use it about every 6 months, because keeping these things, lubricated, will keep them from cracking. If they crack, there's a chance you could have slide errors, moisture could get in the coach. So just doing a little prep work can really help resolve that for you. Other side, you pass through storage over there. Same thing, magnetic anti-slam doors on these. Info panel and battery disconnect, which we did talk about. So that's some of the features on the outside of your 273 QBXL. Let me see if I can scooch by and check out some of the features on the inside. Okay, so first thing you're probably going to find inside your 273 QBXL is going to be this info panel, or command panel, excuse me, right here. This is where you come to operate most of the things inside your coach. We're going to go from top to bottom. So this is your awning. This goes down for out, up for in. This is your slide controls, down for out, or excuse me, down for in, up for out. Yeah, just always check it. Sometimes it's one way, sometimes it's the other way. Over here, you have your water pump and your water heater. If you're hooked up to fresh water or city water, you don't need to run the pump. This is only for when you're boondocking. Your water heater also has a 6-gallon direct spark ignition bypass on it. So to cut that on, boop, just hit it. You'll notice the DSI comes on. If you have propane and it lights up, that light's not gonna be there. If you don't have propane, or if you say, you know, something's wrong, bring it in, let our service folks take a look at it. Got your light controls here, as well as a dimmer switch for your 273 QBXL. To cut the lights off and on, just touch it. And then to dim them, you push and hold. And what that'll do is that'll bring the lights down a little bit, and you can push and hold again to bring them back up. Now you also have some monitor information here as well for your battery, your fresh, your black, and your gray tank. Now, if you go to run the slide out and you notice it's not running out, you're running off the coach batteries, you hit the battery. If you're not over 2/3, you don't have enough juice. We like to say 12 volts to run the slides out. You know, same thing, but if you're hooked up, you got enough juice, it's still not running out, bring it in, let our service folks take a look at it. If you just finished flushing the tanks and you go to check the black or the gray and they're still showing 2/3 or full, but you know you flushed them, give it a few minutes, maybe like 15 minutes, because there's sensors on both sides of the tank that can sometimes get a water bead in between them that'll mess up and sometimes give you a faulty reading. But if you flushed it, everything you know is out, but it's still showing full, or they're just not flushing, bring it in, let our service folks take a look at it. Right here at the entertainment center, you got your King Wi-Fi, LG, and 4G booster, which is a very nice little feature. Cable connection with power, as well as satellite with the booster, and 110. You also have the Furion AM/FM command center on this one. It's a little push button. What that'll do is that'll cut it on for you. You got your volume controls right here. Cut that down so you don't get blown out. You also have dual zone mode changes. You got Bluetooth, HDMI, USB, as well as auxiliary. Plus, you got a mute, and then to cut it off, you just push and hold. That'll cut your power. Now, you do have a Greystone electric fireplace on this bad boy too. Multiple flame settings, multiple light settings. You got the orange, you got the blue, you got the orange and blue, plus multiple heat settings as well as a timer. This is electric, and it does require you be hooked up to shore power in order to operate. But a great little way to knock the chill off the air, because it's roughly 5,000 BTUs of heat coming off of there, and that blower does do a good job of keeping you nice and warm. In your kitchen, you got the undermounted sink with the high-rise faucet. And I'll come around here. So what you do this way for hot, this way for cold, and then to open it, and the pressure, you just pull it open and adjust the pressure that you want. Greystone microwave, as well as Greystone cooktop and oven. Microwave works pretty much like a microwave does. On your cooktop with the glass cover, just make sure you open that up. The front one will usually be high output for you. And the way that you operate it is you find the burner that you want to cut on, push the knob and turn it, and then you turn the igniter clockwise, which is the only way you could turn it. You don't want to try to turn it counterclockwise. And what that'll do is that'll cause the igniter to spark, and if you have propane, boom, you got juice. Just always make sure that you cut it off when you're done. Now, if the igniter's not working, there are some connections on either side of this. You can lift up this faceplate. Sometimes in transit, they'll get shaken loose. Just plug them back in. To light your oven, same thing. Push and turn till you see the little igniter icon, the fire icon, and then turn. If you got propane, it should light up. You should hear it. If not, once again, always be sure to cut it off. if you got propane, it's running, you've let it run to the line, but you're still not lighting up, bring it in, let our folks at Camping World take a look at it for you. Everchill 12-volt fridge freezer combo right here, which is 10.7 cubic feet with the safety travel latch right there. Your controls for your freezer, cold to cooler, and then down here in the fridge, you just push the touch button to adjust the temperature that you want, and then to cut it off, just push and hold, and then you'll notice when it goes off, the lights will go out. Now with this one, it is 12 volts. So if you're gonna go boondocking, just watch that battery. Be sure to check the voltage on it. And if you can, get the solar panel to plug in to get you some additional juice. Over here, you have your Airxcel HVAC controls for your Coleman Mach AC, as well as your Suburban furnace on this one. This is your mode button. You change it to change whichever mode you want, and your temperature controls up and down. And let's talk about this AC real quick. You got a roof-mounted Coleman Mach 13.5K BTU AC. It's ducted, but you also have the quick cool dumps, and we have it running, so this is how loud it sounds when you are running it. Hopefully you can pick it up on the microphone right here. Check yours, because some will have vents, some will not, just depends on the model, or excuse me, the filters, and this will be where your filter location is. LPO2 detector, as well as fuse panel right here. Now, these fuses are smart fuses, and what's really cool about them is if one of them's bad, there's going to be a red light on there to let you know that the fuse is bad. You even have a little handy-dandy panel that when you walk in, if the lights haven't cut on yet, and you see a little red glow, something's wrong. Same thing with the fridge, the fireplace, the AC. If you go to cut them on, you know you got power, this faceplate right here, whatever, and it's just still not working, check the fuse panel. If everything looks good there, everything looks good at the post, everything looks good with the battery, the disconnect is where it should be, and you're still not getting any power, bring it in, let our service folks take a look at it for you. Now, what's great about your 273QBXL is the versatility of it, like the Versa Lounger. Here, you'll see we have it set up with the chaise lounge configuration, but you can change it to a U-shaped dinette, you can make it into a booth dinette, you can make it into a bed, however you want to do it. All you do is just remove this main piece right here. And once again, please just be careful when moving any component inside or outside your RV. Bad back, bad shoulders, bad knees, whatever, please just be careful. If you don't know how to do it, let your specialist show you how to do it. But with this one, I'm just gonna raise this up out of the holders. You'll see we have the 2 square feet right here that go into the holders there, just past the feet for the table of the booth dinette. Now, if you want to change this into the U-shaped dinette, flip this around, and you'll see we have the same thing on the other side right here. Slide it into place, watch your head, set your cushion there, and we have a beautiful U-shaped dinette. Now, if you wanted to put it back into the bed configuration, you just take it out. There's your chaise lounge, and with your jackknife sofa, once again, please just be careful because you are lifting a fairly heavy component. So just lift up and pull out. That's the way you operate your jackknife. To put it back in, same thing. I like to lift the bottom here, reach over and grab the middle, and just kind of pull and push, and it'll set back into place. And there you go. Now, with your bathroom inside your 273QBXL, you do have a high-rise bowl with the foot flush right here. And you'll see you got the foot panel right there. To let water into the bowl, you just push the foot panel down a little bit. To dump it, you just push it all the way down. If you notice that water is still leaking, that little rubber seal down there, you can take some Vaseline to rub it around that bottom of that seal, and that'll keep the flapper in place. Your medicine cabinet does also have a little additional safety feature on it. This little hook and this little string will keep your medicine cabinet safe while in transit. So there you go. Shower is a single surround. You do have the shower controls hot and cold with the nozzle right there, as well as skylight, all that good stuff. And let's just check out the bunk room real quick, because the bunk room does have a jackknife sofa. Works the same way. You just lift up, pull out, fold down, watch the armrests, all that same way to get it back in. Now, that's been the main living area and the kitchen of this coach. Last part is going to be your master bedroom. that fireplace. It's just nice. Okay, with your master bedroom, you do have a little access port right here for dirty laundry or whatever. It's a little netting with a magnetic latch. You do have area for a CPAP machine with access into your ward storage, plus 110 and dual USB. Your bed is strut supported, so just be careful when lifting and raising. It is accessible through the pass-through storage. Plus you got storage underneath. You got your cable connection and power. And like Bob likes to point out, the great thing about these shades, these are roller shades. So to get them to go back in, you just pull and release, and they'll roll back up, and then pull a second time to keep them in the spot that you want them. But the back of them is white as opposed to black. That's going to help with the heat inside your RV. It's going to reflect as opposed to absorb. So there you have it. There's some of the features inside your all-new Forest River Salem Cruise Lite 273QBXL. Hopefully this video has helped you with some tips and tricks. But as always, we have an elite service team standing by to help you operate your RV. You can also bring it into your service center if anything's not functioning properly, or you just need help with it. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure you enjoy that RV more than anything.